Welcome back to the deep dive. We're jumping into, well, a universal necessity today, mastering the art of the self-introduction.
Right.
That moment when you're asked, tell me about yourself, it happens, in job interviews, new classes, networking events.
Even just meeting a friend of a friend at a party, it's probably the highest stakes 5 minutes of any new relationship.
It really is.
And the trick isn't just knowing the English vocabulary, it's knowing the strategy. What details do you offer and how do you structure them for maximum impact?
That is our mission. So we've extracted these conversational blueprints from our sources, and they feature two really detailed examples, Lisa and Mike.
And we're not just listing facts about them. We're analyzing why they chose those specific details.
Right, to build a kind of adaptable introduction toolkit for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the foundation is, well, it's always the same. But we need to stop thinking of it as just grammar and start thinking of it as laying the groundwork.
Okay, so where do we start?
You start with the name and origin. My name is Name, and I am from Country City. Lisa's from England. Mike is from Australia. It's clean. It's immediate.
And it establishes that core identity right away.
It does.
And one small but really strategic detail, the source is highlighted right away. If your name is a bit complex, or maybe it's common but spelled unusually in English,
Spell it out.
just take the 3 seconds to spell it out. Mike, M-I-K-E. Even though it's common, he reinforces it. It's a courtesy that shows you're paying attention.
It ensures you're remembered correctly. Exactly. But once you've established that origin, the next critical move is to analyze your current environment.
Why is that so important?
Because it tells a story about your current priorities. And this is where Lisa and Mike, they immediately diverge.
So let's look at location, not just geographically, but emotionally. Lisa lives in London.
Huge, busy, noisy capital.
She really emphasizes that high-energy buzz of the place at describing it as exciting, yes, but also.
Tiring. Right. Because of the crowds and the constant motion.
And that description immediately sets up a contrast with Mike, doesn't it? He lives in a small, quiet Australian city.
And he doesn't focus on the infrastructure. He focuses on sensory details. The peace, hearing the birds, and specifically, being able to see the stars at night.
Which is something Lisa mentioned she can't do in London because of all the light pollution.
Right. And here's the key insight. They aren't just giving an address. They are sharing their value system. Lisa values dynamic action.
And Mike values tranquility and a connection to nature. This choice of detail is an immediate personality shorthand for anyone listening.
And that value system, it carries right through to their homes. Lisa has a small apartment on the 3rd floor. She calls it cozy.
Which just means comfortable and nice.
Exactly. It's a space that's optimized for efficiency in a big city.
Mike, on the other hand, he seems to prioritize space and, well, cultivation. He lives in a house. And crucially, he doesn't just say he has a yard.
No, he gives us this amazing visual anchor.
The flowers he grows, red roses, white roses, and yellow daisies.
That is such a brilliant communication tool. It makes the abstract concept of gardening completely specific and memorable.
It really does. Those little colorful details just stick in your mind far better than some general statement.
Absolutely.
Okay, so moving on to professional and personal identity. Age is optional, of course. Mike is 30, Lisa is 27. But I guess if you share it, it contextualizes your career stage.
For sure. And the job is usually the next major piece of information.
Yeah.
The basic structure is just, I am a Job.
But again, the successful introduction gives it a little flavor.
Right. Mike is a cook. He works at a restaurant.
Oh.
And he immediately lists his focus.
Yeah.
Meat, fish, pasta, and vegetables. He's emphasizing the practical outputs of his work.
Whereas Lisa, she's an English teacher for primary school children, ages 7 to 10. She emphasizes the process and her passion.
That comment about children being like little sponges.
Yes, who absorb information so fast. It just shows her enthusiasm and her belief in her students. It really paints a picture of her work environment.
And that's a powerful distinction. Mike describes what he makes. Lisa describes how she interacts. Both are effective, but they appeal to different interests.
So let's tackle family. Now, this is an area where I feel like you could easily overwhelm a listener with just a long list of facts.
You absolutely could. The strategy is to use family details to introduce contrasts, or maybe shared professional themes.
And Lisa uses her 2 younger sisters perfectly for contrast.
She does. Emma is studying medicine, a highly technical field,
Yeah.
and Sophie is studying art, a highly creative field.
And her parents are just as illustrative. A nurse and a builder, it shows this diverse, busy, and grounded family background.
And you get all that without having to memorize 5 separate biographies.
Mike's family details are structured more around movement and stability. His older brother Tom is a truck driver.
And he travels all over Australia, sometimes away for a whole week. That immediately reinforces that theme of movement we saw earlier.
And then his mother works locally in a shop, and his retired father, who was a mechanic, still works with his hands, fixing Mike's car.
So the key takeaway here is it's the economy of detail. Every person you mention should add another stroke to your overall self-portrait.
Otherwise, just save it for a later conversation.
Exactly.
Speaking of self-portraits, let's move into what I think are the real conversation goldmines. Likes, dislikes, and hobbies.
These are the details that generate those easy follow-up questions.
We'll start with the pets. They immediately reveal so much about a daily routine.
Okay, so Lisa has Charlie, a small, playful West Highland Terrier, a Westie.
Who sleeps right on her bed, so it's a very high-touch, high-energy relationship.
Totally. And then Mike has Bella, the cat.
Mm.
Orange fur, green eyes, soft and calm.
And the most striking detail is that Bella sleeps about 15 hours a day.
It's perfect, isn't it? Lisa is the busy dog person in the busy city. Mike is the calm cat person in the peaceful environment.
The details just keep confirming that overall personality analysis we started with.
And their food preferences are also really revealing. Mike, the cook, goes gourmet. Grilled salmon with lemon juice.
And Lisa, the efficient city dweller, is practical. Baked chicken with salt and pepper, which she says she eats almost daily.
Simple, delicious, low fuss. A reflection of her London pace.
Their choices of favorite color and season are equally valuable because they link back to those values they expressed earlier.
Mike loves dark red, the color of energy and passion, which ties back to.
The red roses he cultivates, and he prefers summer for swimming at the beach.
And Lisa chooses yellow, happy, warm, sunny. She prefers spring because of the nice weather, growing flowers, and baby animals.
Yeah.
She likes the promise of it all.
Again, the details just reinforce the big picture. It's so effective.
It is.
So when we get to hobbies, the structure is simple. I like to activity. Lisa focuses on mental relaxation.
Right. Reading fiction with happy endings. She even cites Charlotte's Web as a favorite. And walking in the park in the evening.
Mike focuses more on movement and entertainment, watching comedy movies and riding his bicycle for an hour or two every weekend.
And the music taste just cements the difference. Mike is old school. 1970s and 80s rock. Loves the Beatles.
And he sings along while cooking.
Of course he does. And Lisa is contemporary. Modern pop music. Happy songs she can dance to at home with her dog, Charlie. The details make their free time so tangible.
Okay, so finally, dislikes. Why would you mention something negative in an introduction?
Because stating dislikes adds texture. It adds authenticity. And it sort of sets boundaries.
Yeah.
Mike dislikes mushrooms because of the soft and squishy texture.
That's a very specific sensory aversion.
It is. And he identifies as a night person who dislikes waking up early.
Lisa's dislikes are more anxiety-based, which really fits her high-energy environment. She dislikes crowded places because they feel overwhelming.
And she hates being late because it causes her stress. These aren't just random facts. They're clues about how they manage pressure.
So now we get to the strategic application, the most actionable takeaway.
Right. The problem with most self-introductions is that people try to dump all those details we just covered onto the listener at once. The key strategy is tailoring.
You have to decide what level of depth is right for the context.
This means having flexible versions ready. You could think of it as maybe the 3-part hook.
The 3-part hook. I like that. So what is it?
It's your name plus your job plus one highly specific passion detail. For a low-stakes social setting, like a party, you lead with a hook that invites immediate, easy conversation.
So Mike would likely lead with his cooking or his cycling.
Yeah, something like, "Hi, I'm Mike. I'm a cook at a restaurant, and I spend my weekends riding my bike for hours."
And that gives the other person 2 clear points to latch onto. Food and exercise. Simple.
Very simple. And Lisa at a social event might say, "I'm Lisa, I teach English, but I'm really into reading old children's fiction with happy endings."
Oh, that's quirky, it's memorable, and it immediately makes you want to ask, oh, what's your favorite book?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But in a high-stakes setting like an English class or a presentation, you need to be more direct.
Right, you state your purpose or skill. Lisa would focus on her teaching credentials. Mike would focus on the practicality of his job.
The common error is that list structure we spent the first half of this deep dive deconstructing. That list is for your reference, not for their consumption.
An effective introduction is a sequence of strategic breadcrumbs.
Yes, leading the listener to ask the next question.
And that leads to the crucial nonverbal takeaway. All the specific details about dogs and daisies are, well, they're enhanced or destroyed by your delivery.
Our sources really emphasize this. Be friendly, be relaxed, and the universal language is the smile.
It's the psychological component, isn't it? If you deliver your introduction with confidence and ease, the listener is far more likely to retain the details you shared.
The nonverbal cues signal that the information is safe and interesting to